Hey everybody, welcome to this week's concept video. This week I thought I'd bring you something that helped me quite a lot, which is highlighting particular notes and chords. And I understand we've done a bunch of videos in here, but this is a hack specifically for a 12-bar blues. This will work over shuffles, it will work over slow blues, you name it, right? So when we talk about playing melodically, often what is meant is following the chords and ending phrases and highlighting particular notes and chords that really bring the chord out. Now, in every chord, if we take a basic kind of A dominant 7, just one of those, right? There are two notes in that chord that are particularly important to revealing that chord, and that is the third and the seventh, right? And in the case of a dominant seventh, like a blues, it would be a major third and a flat seven, right? Those are your two most important notes. Now, we've got three chords in the blues. So if we're doing a blues in A, we've got A7, D7, and E7. Or A9, D9, E9. They're all the same thing pretty much. It's just dominant chords, just the 9s and the 13s and all that have a little bit more of an extension on it. But essentially they are the same chord, right? So if you want to play now the particular notes in these chords and get the hacks happening and really get this going, you just need to know this basic pattern I'm going to show you today, right? So if we are soloing with a minor pentatonic, A mixolydian, whatever you want to call it, a major pentatonic, doesn't really matter. You need to know where the thirds and the sevenths are for each of these chords, and you try and end your phrases on one of these two notes, and that will really bring out the chord. So the basic thing is, for the one chord, the A7 chord, you got this little pattern over here. So that's D string 5th fret and G string 6th fret. So now for the one chord, all you got to try and do is end your phrases, your licks on one of those two notes, and that will really bring out the chord. Right, it really, really works, and you can grab the octaves of it. So there's all my octaves of the third and the seventh for the one chord, right? So that's all you got to remember is try and end, not all the time because it becomes very predictable, but try and practice now. When you're on the one chord, be conscious of what change you're on, what chord you're on, end a phrase on either the third or the seventh. So just let's start off with the basic thing. There's my third and seventh for the one chord. Now I go to the four chord, the D7 chord. So my third and my seventh for the D7th chord is the same pattern, just one fret back. Right, so now when you're playing over the four chord, you can still play A mixolydian, A minor pentatonic, but try and end on one of those notes for the four chord. So remember, one chord, four chord. Now we got one more chord in the blues, which is the E7, the 5 chord. So instead of dropping those two notes down by a semitone, we raise them by a semitone. And now we try and end phrases when we're on the 5 chord. We're still playing A minor pentatonic, A mixolydian, but ending on one of those notes. And it'll really bring the chord out. So how do we practice this? Pop on a slow blues I would recommend to start with because the changes come a lot slower. Slow blues, dominant blues, major blues, whatever you want to call it. Be very aware of what chord you're playing over at all times. That's a very, very important part to playing melodically. Then whatever phrases you play over that, try and end on one of these notes. Or another way to do it would be to play the blues and just play this over the one chord, that over the four chord, and this over the 5 chord to really kind of map that out and get that into your brain. this is going to be a game changer for you. It really, really will. So if you've got any further questions, I'm going to just tab out very, very basically the basic patterns. And remember, look for the octaves of that. So that's my one chord. There's another octave over there, another octave over there, another octave over there. So they're all over the place. You do the same for the 4 chord. You do the same for the 5 chord. Let me know how this goes. I've had massive success with a lot of students using this little hack. And we'll see you on Friday for Lick of the Week. Until then, cheers.